femininity tests. It is a way that we feel safe. So now I'm really testing you to see how far will you let me disrespect you. But ultimately, what I want the most is my man to be a leader. So if you stop me from the beginning, I might be cussing you out in my mind, but secretly I love it. Secretly, I'm like, my baby, that's a man right there. That man took charge over me. You're letting me know how I get to move and shake within your boundaries because you're the lines. We're the color. You got to teach me to color inside of the lines. So if you don't set that strong boundary.
I know I just said I was pro-black a few minutes ago. I know I did just say that. But some black people, man, should probably be forced to be whipped again or something like that. Yeah, pick cotton. You're testing me to see if I'm able to lead you?
Yeah, break that down, bro.
What if we just had a conversation about it and you set your boundaries that way? Instead of testing like I'm a fucking animal.
Nah, bro.
You test makeup on animals. You test behaviors on fucking dogs. How does a dog respond to a bell versus a clap when I want him to do something? You know what I mean?
So I'm about to play.
I'm not an animal.
I'm gonna play, I guess, maybe not devil's advocate, but how about if this is something that goes on and she said it.
What you mean?
Everybody does it, but it's just she said it out loud, and now she's saying this is a red flag.
It definitely goes on.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's a red flag though.
But everyone does it. Well, not everyone does it.
That's the problem.
Like maybe some people do it and they don't even know they're doing it.
I think
she just said it out loud.
Thing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's a bigger issue with Negroes then.
I think it might be because let me tell you,
only Negroes.
When I work in a house
out loud.
Yeah, there you go.
Or I'm not going to say when I work. When people work, allegedly, it's certain things like when you start a job, you're like on your top shit. But as time goes on, you just see what you can get away with.
Oh.
And then it's just like, you just test it. And it's not even like malicious. It's, I want to be as comfortable as I want to be.
That's a great point.
No, but they're saying how comfortable they can be around you.
That's what she just said. What everyone does. She just said it out loud, and now she's a red flag.
No, did you see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't think it's a red flag.
No, but
I disagree.
You don't think it's a red flag?
I don't think it's.
I think it is.
Test somebody. I don't think it's a red flag.
I think she's inherently immature as hell. I just feel like to tell me that you need to be put in check as a grown-ass person is crazy. You should already know how to check your own emotions and everything.
Immaturity.
She's immature as hell.
Well, let me tell you. I'm 24.
Fuck it.
And in today's day and age, that might be the worst part. I don't expect another 24-year-old to be the most mature person on the planet.
She's like 34. Maybe 40.
But immaturity is not a full
And she's a
flag.
bitch. Huh?
No, he doesn't. So no. Hold on. Let me say something. I'm glad you said that because he doesn't like to. He's very PC. So you saying that you saw his face, right?
I can tell she's irritating.
No, but
and don't get me wrong.
Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah, no. I'm not one of those guys, right? Like women, when you with a woman, it's 50-50, bro. Everybody got to be accounted for, emotions, feelings, desires, everything. But don't carry it like a child. Like you got to keep me in check. You're not a fucking dog. You're not my badass puppy. You're my girlfriend or wife. Like, we should have these boundaries set up. And we should argue whatever you want to argue yourself. It's not about me checking you. It's about us. Have an issue. We talk about it. We move on.
But
why do you want to be checked so bad?
Maybe it's not.
How do you want?
Because the way she said it,
that's not
checked,
inherently masculine.
I think having to check somebody over and over again is definitely a tiring process.
Yeah, so I understand
I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I was going to say was maybe test versus check to me, they're
the same thing.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because if I check, there's a test where I don't check you. Because sometimes
give me an example.
Some women don't just want to do stuff just because you don't like it.
Give me an example of a test you would have on your significant other. That you would test her in a way. I'm not saying you did it if she watching, but
I don't test people.
There you go. Well, if you were to test
nigga, you test people all the time, especially when you first meet them.
I don't test my
If you were to,
that's good.
No,
if you were to test your girl, how would you do it?
It's definitely a lot of like, I've told my girl to be quiet aggressively in front of my family.
That's wild, bro.
Not like I've told her to shut up. Now,
and how did she pass this test?
Wait, what? Hold up. Why'd you tell her to shut up, first of all?
Because, and it wasn't, It was because we were having some type of conversation, and she was going to agree with somebody else in my family. Now,
You weren't joking. You were like, shut up.
no, it was a joke.
Oh,
it was a
that's
joke.
not check. That is
a. You have, if you're not able to take my humor in a sense and know that I don't really mean.
Oh, that was your first time saying that.
Yeah, like I don't just tell her to shut up. Like I don't just. Tell her
I
to shut
feel
up.
you.
So it was just
Wait,
like
this is your first.
we were talking, and then in the middle of her talk, I was like, just stop. I was like, it was something along the lines of stop talking, and then her and my mom were like, but it was more like it was basically.
But you never done that before. You didn't know how she would react.
Yeah, I didn't know how she would react. I had a feeling that she wouldn't tweak out on me, but I knew.
So you're testing her to see if she likes me disrespected or not. Like I'm confused. What's the test for?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
You're testing if she can take the joke. That's a lot less dramatic than what this lady just said on this video. This lady's talking about like, if I'm cussing you out and you check me, I like that.
No, bro, this is how I took what she said. She said she's going to basically, almost like a child, and poke and see how far she can get away with it until you say whatever. Were you going to stop it early or you going to stop it
Is that not fucking insane? Is that not fucking insane?
It's not insane.
But it's not looking for...
We're together. Why do you want to poke and pry me and push my buttons all day?
She's looking for...
I think she sounds like a conscious woman to me.
Sounds like a fucking bozo.
No, she sounds like a conscious woman.
I bet she's single.
Like... She probably is. Because I think she might be smart.
Might be single.
No, but think about I'm saying
no, I'm not being single.
I think most women do that type of thing unconsciously, not on purpose. But she's conscious that she does it, and she was able to articulate, and now she's a bitch. And
I see your point.
See what I'm saying?
I see your point now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That makes sense to me. I can see that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do we think now she's a bitch, or she's been?
Now she's a bitch because she's articulating
she's able to articulate why she's been a bitch.
No, she's a bitch now because she's articulating what women have been doing unconsciously for millennium.
I just think
she's speaking it's taboo.
Maybe her tone and stuff would maybe like not like.
No, bro, she's saying what's real.
Because biasly, you have talked about this in the past with people just trying to test how far they can go. They will test you, and you have to be able to check it early, and that's part of your position. Like in a partnership, that's where you stand as a partner. You set boundaries early, so you saw her say that, and you were like. I knew it. Like, I knew that this was being done. But other people don't see relationships that way. Or
people still see the fantasy of it. This is what goes on.
I think there's different types of, I'm not going to say two different. There's different types of women in this world.
Definitely.
There are women that don't test people.
That's cap.
There are women that don't test people.
That's cap.
For sure.
That's cap.
For sure.
That's cap.
I think in a way everybody tests everybody.
Everybody tests somebody. You got
but to me, if you're doing it without thinking you're doing it or knowing you're doing it, that's way better than what the fuck she said. I'm gonna purposefully push this button to see. That makes my stomach. That's not skin.
Okay.
But if you do it and don't know you're doing it,
bitch somebody.
Let's say like
if you get bitched.
Now she don't like you the same way as a man. Like she looks less of you because you didn't even know what was going on.
And I think bitch is the wrong word.
But what's wrong with that?
Some people got it. Some people
know what's up.
Because I didn't lean on you in a moment.
Some men do not argue like that.
Yeah, some men don't argue. Some men.
So what are you saying?
Some men will say, "Hey, look, we'll talk later."
Maybe that's how she finds her man. Like she wants a man to cuss back. But some men do not like that problematic thing.
But that doesn't make you less masculine, less of a man.
What? I don't
not be combative or to not fall for these tests or to not G-check your girl all the time. Like having control of your woman doesn't make you a man or not. It's whatever your dynamic.
You said having control of your woman doesn't make you a man?
Not inherently, I don't think. You're not meant to control the person you're with.
Okay, not control.
But she's carrying like a control thing, like nipping in the bud. Like, whatever you're doing, like stop it. Like Shannon Sharp is over that white girl, controlling her. You see what that got him at. So keep that in mind.
Go ahead.
Well, she black. She wouldn't got in trouble.
Go ahead, Flip. You had something to say?
No, it was more so I do like, you have to know how to handle situations.
Yeah.
And
handle your woman.
Yeah.
Correct. No, I don't think that's a iffy yeah. I think that's a yeah. Because if you don't know her,
I think
you don't know. If you don't know that's what she likes, somebody else will.
Yeah, you gotta know how to
It's
handle.
like the pimp said. Like the pimp said, you gotta know your hoe. You gotta know your bitch.
At the right.
I think that's
Why not?
That and
I think that's the wrong trend.
that's what we're trying to avoid.
That's the
That.
wrong.
No, bro, but they speaking some real shit though. You need to know your person, bro.
You do, but it's not about controlling.
But because he's a pimp, he got that negative connotation. He's not giving good advice. Hold on, like that's great advice.
Right,
You gotta know your person.
right?
You gotta know your person.
You do have to know your person. You do for sure. But all I'm trying to say is, when you carry it the way she's carrying it, where it's like this combative thing, it's like me versus you in these moments. That's not gonna work long term.
I think the problem is that she's conscious of it and she's still
That means she
doing
can
it.
stop it. That's the
She
problem.
knows what
Nah, I
she
don't
likes.
think so.
Is what I'm saying. She made it a very general thing. Like all men need to do that. Her man needs to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Her man will need to do
Yeah.
that. I don't think that this is a general thing at all. That's what I'm saying. There's different types of women.
No,
And I guess her control, what we're saying control, I don't like that word. Hold up. I think her thing is that she wants to be argued with or just not even argued with. She doesn't even want to be argued with. She wants to be shut down. And some men wouldn't even like, if this is how you choose to express yourself, express yourself. Like, I'll sit here and talk to you until you're calm. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
but there's different ways to go about. I don't think nip in the bud. Every man has to have his way of how he handles situations.
I think every person.
I don't think that you should just let her shit on you and curse you out.
No.
And now you're emotionally like, oh, I'll just take this and I just feel sad every day. You just have your situation. You talk to her. You handle the situation how you want to handle it. And if it doesn't get handled, you dip. But every man has to know how he handles situations. I do agree with that. That's part of being the foundation of a relationship or whatever.
Right.
But every man doesn't have to just nip shit in the bud like that.
Yeah, I think my issue with it, the main thing my issue was, just
why wouldn't you nip it right in the bud? If you don't, they're gonna keep doing it.
my problem is like, why are you doing it?
Some people, it's like, okay, let's just say you
I
got
say nip in the bud. I mean, it will be stopped after the first occurrence, but I might not be like, shut the fuck up. Like, just stop all that dumb shit.
and I guess maybe I'm taking it out of context. Maybe that's just, hey, you shouldn't do that. But the way she said it made it seem like you gotta say shut the fuck up to her.
I think that that's correct.
Because I feel like you can be a man and say, hey, don't do that sternly, and I mean it. You don't have to say shut the fuck up. I think that you're bad at communicating at that point.
I didn't like it because of her tone was like on some really childish, like a childish tone. Like my man gotta be able to handle me. Why do you want to be handled? Be a fucking normal person. Be a good person who's even killed and be calm.
I like that.
What?
I like that.
What?
I like when people. So
You like to handle them?
no.
You know, Sharp was handling that girl too.
All right, bro.
But I
He's
like
done it
her to
with her
have
neck.
an opinion.
Of course.
I like her to be expressive.
Of course. I'm not saying none of that.
I like what she said.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't be anybody. Be your own person. But don't come up to me talking about my man has to be able to handle me because I'm a
You just
handful.
don't like the way she said
I'm a
it.
handful.
You don't like
be a handful.
Bro, if she had said it, I need my man. If I do something that he doesn't like, I need him to tell me right then and there that he
Think
doesn't.
about in the context of your life.
But that's what I'm
That's
saying.
a very emotionally sensitive way of saying what she said.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't lie.
So think about in the context of your life, right? You had a long day. Work was.
I'm not fucking with her.
In fact, she don't give a fuck about that
Work-
long time.
Work was bad.
No.
You at work and let's say either you work for somebody or you own your own shit. It was just a bad day, man. The money wasn't coming in right, or people was talking to you something. A long day, traffic was fucked up because it took you an hour longer to get home, and then you get in the house and she like, oh, it's push button day. Today is button push day for this nigga.
I feel like,
And then you go from the checking her to bitch. Then it's like, oh, this nigga ain't shit. Da, 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 and they just a whole test just blew your shit up. Then what?
what you mean then what? What are you saying?
She
then it's
she
not
just
your-
set a landmine for herself, and you was a landmine. And she stepped on that motherfucker and blew her legs off because your ass had a horrible day.
She beat.
So
She on a button
You
push.
don't think your girl gonna do that?
I don't know. I don't think so. My girl has like done stuff like that, but we talked about it and it was over. I don't think she. But like I said,
Communication.
that's that subconscious testing though. The conscious test is my problem. If you just a subconscious, like you don't know you're doing it, Right? Eventually, y'all can talk about that shit and handle it. If you're purposefully,
She's she's smart.
but if you
He's
always,
a weed outer.
if I know that I do something that fucks up somebody else every day, right? And I shouldn't do it because it's hurting them and I care for them. I should probably stop doing that shit, right?
I hear you.
Okay, now so you with me now, right?
I'm not, bro. I am not with you,
Right.
bro. I am not with you.
If I know that's happening,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop that shit. But
You say that.
to consciously be like, I'm gonna test this nigga, I'm gonna push his buttons and all that, I hate that. I hate it. I just hate it. This is me. If you're just a naturally like a person who does that and you don't even really realize you're doing it,
Enjoy that.
What?
Someone pushing your buttons.
No, I don't.
nobody does. No human being enjoys that.
Hold on.
You can-
Why are you? You said this before,
You
bro.
enjoy that.
No, I don't,
You
bro.
enjoy your buttons being
No,
pressed.
I don't, bro. Why do you say
enjoy
that?
being tested.
Why do you say that?
I say that
I don't
because
think
I'm not going to sit here and spit out history.
Type shit.
But
Yeah, please don't.
You do
We almost wrapped it up.
We'll talk about it off camera.
certain, and I say this the point I'm making is certain people enjoy they look to their partner for a different thing than other people.
I agree.
I guess Cages likes to be kept on his toes.
Listen,
you can't love to be kept.
Listen, if you have no problem with what she did, what she does, or whatever, you can be with somebody long time. Does that.
I'm
it's
not.
cool.
No. I'm not saying that.
Me?
I'm not saying I don't have a problem with it because I think it's.
Well,
fucked up.
shut the fuck up. I'll be honest. I've been like that on the phone. She pressed my buttons in the back. Shut the fuck up.
I think.
Then she'd be happy. I checked her.
I'm not saying I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying I think she voiced with a lot of.
I think she's
women
very
do.
articulate.
Yeah.
And smart.
That's what you think?
No.
But I think to know you're doing something bad to somebody that you're supposed to care about and you keep doing it, I just don't like.
I see what you're saying, bro. But she's hurt.
There you go.
She's hurt.
She's hurt.
She's her. Not hurt. Not hurt.
If you are a tight end and you run your route short every time and your quarterback misses a throw every time and you're hurting your team, eventually you're gonna want to stop.
I don't like that one. I don't like that. I don't like that analogy. I don't like that analogy. I don't like that analogy. That's not a good analogy.
You're in the wrong route every day, and you know it ends up in a.
Okay, hold on. We're about to wrap this up.
Listen, go ahead. You're not running it because you're not a good runner. You're running it because I prefer my end routes to be 5 yards instead of 7. The play calls are 7, but I prefer 5. I'm gonna just keep doing it that way. Bitch, you're getting cut.
So why do you think she did that? Why do you think women do that?
So a lot of women today.
I'm scared again.
I'm a feminist. Before I say this, I'm pro everybody. A lot of women today have this mindset of like, I'll say people in general, mainly black people, black couples. It's almost like we're at odds situation a lot of times, and not like a team thing. It's like I don't want to.
That's the world, bro. That's the world right now.
I feel it, but black people say it out loud, like you said. Black people. To me, when black people talk about like podcast relationships stuff on the podcast, it's always like a I don't want to get over on them, but they get over on me type of thing. When you're all together, that's not the case. Y'all supposed to get over on the world together. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I think a lot of people have this combative nature about them. Men and women too. Men do the same thing. Trust me.
Men are just as bad.
Men do the same thing. Niggas will cheat and be like, I just say she, you know what I'm saying? If you let me do it, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's fucked up. So like, I feel like a lot of it's like that combative nature between us, and it's like, why do we have that? And like you said, everybody do it. We just want to say it out loud on these fucking podcasts that I hate. You know what I'm saying? I like this podcast. That was great.
The sub was crazy right there.
This nigga.
I hate those type of podcasts, the relationships and the red pill, all that. I hate those.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like it's like that combativeness that I got from her, that aura I got from her about being like, yeah, this nigga don't even know I'm about to push his button today. Why? Now, if you had a bad day, I had a bad day. You push our buttons that way.
So hold on. Let's
talk about it.
Let's wrap this up, but let's take it from another perspective, right?
Always. How
about if she's doing this to help you? Maybe you've been acting like a bitch recently.
Don't gaslight me into that with that shit. That's like when Shaq be like, yeah, I was calling you a bitch on TV to make you average 40. What? What are you talking about? What if you said, hey, man, what if instead you were like, you know what, Dwight Howard, when you drop step, bring your elbow up here instead of down here. You'll make more space that way. Thank you, Shaq. I appreciate it.
The light.